Good morning, good day, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the Getting Together podcast. And we had a little bit of an incident this morning.
We really did.
That's why we're a little, I don't know, scattered, a little laughy.
I'm all verklempt.
Yes. So this morning, as we came into the porch, coffee community and conversation. We found a conversation piece. Really,
we did. We totally did.
There was this little guy. Hey, buddy. He was just kind of sitting, kind of
in our space.
And this is reserved, so he wasn't part of our reservation.
No, he was not welcomed.
So I wondered, what in the world could this handsome?
Yes. I says to him,
toy be?
Jeremy, do you know this man?
I don't.
Do you know this man?
I don't know this man.
And he was like, no.
And
it looks kind of voodoo-ish, is what
he
said.
I said, it looks like a little bit of a voodoo doll. So then making a joke of this, I kind of like,
as you do.
Kind of listened for it.
And
then
we're like, did anybody in here scream?
So you pull the arm.
And then I says to him, pull the leg.
And this is what happened when I pulled the leg. His entire insides came outside. And from a bit of a region that, so someone is maybe in the hospital somewhere.
He's in the ER right now.
In a lot of pain.
Wondering, okay,
and
it's still in the shot.
As I tried to put his poor stuffing back in, it just got worse and worse.
You know what? You're not allowed to play with any of my kids' toys.
Yeah, no, apparently not. Or your dog's toys, or whoever this might belong to.
And so we're so sorry.
We're very sorry.
Whoever this poor man is, he's in pain.
I do feel badly that I ripped his groin all the way up to his navel, and that all his stuffing came out.
It's kind of like Braveheart. You disemboweled him.
I did disembowel him.
Freedom.
So that was how we started our morning.
Oh my gosh.
But it was good. It was good for a laugh and a cry all at the same time.
Serious belly laugh. I think I might have peed a little bit.
Because I kind of felt bad that I had no right. I had no right to do this. Someone paid good money for that.
We're very sorry. Jeremy's going to sew it.
The quality of the craftsmanship was lacking. That's really
totally.
There's a lot of stuffing. Anyway, so
you just annihilated. Done.
There we go.
Gone.
I'm a very strong person.
Wow.
Very strong.
So much for our professional journalism, which I don't know that we
have
ever.
That?
No,
we didn't have that.
Who wants that?
Which is okay.
Overrated.
Absolutely. 100,000%.
Okay, but you're going to sew it. You're going to sew it.
Yeah, I'll sew that. I'll sew that thing back together.
He's trying to
and I'll put some button eyes back in, and we'll really do it right.
Very Raggedy Ann and Andy.
Yes.
Of you, because your mom made you learn to sew.
She
did. Just told me.
Yeah, she definitely. That was part of kind of. Not growing up, but those life skills. So like doing laundry, sewing.
I get. Okay, sewing though?
Sewing, I mean, she had a sewing machine, and you talk to, I'm gonna go to the very top here. This is what could have happened. Damon Johns. I mean, the guy started a fashion line because he knew how to sew. And he's a multi-millionaire. Yes.
Got you.
So,
yes,
I mean,
in a garage.
can lend itself to
lead
certain
to things.
Yeah.
Did your mom think that maybe that might be a future for you? Sewing?
No. But I did have to make all my own outfits. So like we went down and we got patterns, and this is back in the where I had like the jammers. I think they're jammers.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, long shorts.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I had them. My grandmother sewed them for me.
Well, see, there you go.
Okay, my grandmother.
So, I mean, we had like the patterns. I got out all the material and made my little jams. And then matching shirts, button-down shirts.
I'm a mess today.
Because at the time,
you made a matching shirt.
Well, yeah, because at the time it was not allowed in the house to have like a T-shirt. Like I couldn't wear a T-shirt out, so things had to be buttoned down. So I had these matching button-down shirts, lobster shorts, the whole shoot
in the
match.
house. So you weren't wearing these in public?
Oh no, I had to go to school in these. This was like my summer outfits. So
how'd you do? Were you good at it?
I think I did really quite well. With my mom's guidance, obviously, because she was a very good seamstress.
Okay.
So I had made those.
Yeah.
But now the kids always come to me if they need a button sewn on.
Okay.
If there's a little rip in Ella's, like Ella had a rip in her dress the other day.
Yeah.
And so I knew what to do. And there you go.
Saved the dress.
Saved the dress.
Wow.
We didn't have to discard it.
All right.
So there you go. I'll sew up our little friend there.
I'm going to sew up our little friend.
Sew up our little friend.
Bob.
Put his stuffing back
I don't know.
in.
Bob. He looks maybe like a
And-
Bob.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe. I got to mention. So
Horatio.
I've got another shirt. Okay. Here it is. Here it is.
Get attached.
Get attached.
Foster
Hashtag
Care Awareness
foster care.
Month.
It's Foster Care Awareness Month. So I
Yes,
just
it
got to
is.
shout out to all my foster care warriors out there because they watch and while they try to survive life. So thank you for what you do.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. So, okay. So
Yeah.
this week after, wow, all that was a lot for me this morning. I haven't had my
was.
coffee yet. I'm saving it for when we have our guest.
'Cause I'm
I like
saving all my love.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, okay. So we've got events. I want to just share some events about the week.
Yes.
This weekend.
Yes, because it is now like summer in Prescott.
It is prime time.
Stuff's
so
happening on the square. Stuff's
Yes.
happening around. It's beautiful. The weather's awesome
It's
up
the time
here.
to visit.
It is.
Although I had a friend down in, I think he's in Gilbert, maybe
Gilbert.
Chandler, one of those.
Okay.
And he was like, we want to come up and stay the weekend. He could not find a hotel under $350.
When?
Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks
Oh,
ago.
yeah. Probably because of the bike race.
Oh, it might have been. Might have
Yeah.
been the big. Yeah, it might have been the bike race.
Because then they had
Yeah.
two things happening, right? We had the fire up here, so
Yes.
all the guys that do incident management and stuff like that, they
Right.
were in the hotels, and then they had to honor reservations for the people who had made them for the bike race months ago.
Sure.
So it was just an
crazy
absolute
town.
mess. I talked to a
Okay.
guy down at the bike race.
Yeah.
He finally was able to get a Motel 6.
Yeah.
And he was like, didn't sleep a whole lot, kind of freaked out.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway.
Most of our hotels are really nice,
Yes,
though.
most of them are.
And so many Airbnbs and things. So anyway, if you do want to come up, come up for the day.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it should be much easier now that some of those large. I mean, the bike race
that was
they were
pretty
expecting
big.
like 8,000 people
Right.
in town. So for the
Yeah.
most part, yeah.
Now
Don't let
it's
that scare
just
you.
really fun hometown.
You can stay with Ray.
You could. You totally could. I'm that type of person. Come on over.
Yep.
It's just hometown fun stuff now.
Yeah.
So there's a cruise in for the veterans this weekend, car show. So
It does not
9
involve boats
a.m.
because we're in the middle of the desert.
Right. As in like cruising.
Oh yes,
On a Sunday afternoon.
in a car.
Right.
Cruise.
Yeah. Up at the Gateway Mall. So I'm glad
Oh,
to see that
nice.
they're using it for fun stuff, 9 to 3. I did go to a car show this last weekend.
Yes.
And I love it. I love car shows.
Do you?
First of all, the people are great.
Okay.
To talk to them about why are you putting all your time and energy into this vehicle? What is it? And there's always a story. There's some remembrance, some memory attached.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you,
Yes.
your very first car, what was it? And did you pay for it?
Oh no. No.
Oh, please. No, but we weren't rich. We just flew to the vineyard every weekend.
We did not. It's a Ford Fiesta. It was
Oh.
a gold Ford Fiesta.
Yes, those were
It was
classic
a
high
stick
school
shift.
cars. Yep.
And my
Good for
dad had
you.
driven it into the ground, and so it was one of those things that we got to use that to not only learn on, and then that was kind of like my car
You
for a
said
little bit.
we. Was it you and your sister
Oh, yeah,
had
we
to
both-
share it?
No,
Or-
we both learned on it,
Okay.
and then I'm trying to remember what her first car was because she.
She'll put it in the comments. She's so good. Shelly,
There
thank
you go.
So
yes. So I don't remember what her first car was.
Okay.
But I kind of sort of when my dad got something else, then I inherited
You
that
got
for a
the
little while.
hand-me-down.
But which is fine. It was
Yeah,
a great
Ford
little
Fiesta.
car.
It's a great
and
little car.
Zip
Absolutely.
it around. You could throw a couple people in there, go to
Yeah.
Pizza Hut for lunch, and
Right.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Senior
So
sneak
that
out.
was my first car. And you?
Mine was Pontiac Sunbird.
Oh yeah, okay.
Little
No, not
four-cylinder.
Sunfire. I was thinking Sunfire.
Nope, Sunbird, my
Sunbird.
friend, in a
Okay.
very gorgeous periwinkle blue. And it was fairly new.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be my mother's. But somehow I ended up with it. And she still resents, she still resents that.
Huh.
She was a stay-at-home mom.
And you got the car.
And I got the car. Well, because she didn't want to get up and take me to school. So
Oh,
what are you
okay.
going to do? But it had this whine. It was like, wee when you drove it. Because it was like a little rubber band in there.
Oh, wow.
4-cylinder.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a pretty nice car
Okay.
compared to a lot of my friends' cars.
So that reminds me, my best friend in high school, Mike Laura.
Yeah.
He had this Bug that he'd inherited from his dad.
Now, see, he was the cool kid.
Oh, it was a very cool car, but it had so many of those like Herbie type idiosyncrasies, right?
You had to hit the dashboard for the door to open. Or...
In this one, this was a little more dangerous because the horn would honk if you did a right turn. And so in our area, we had a lot of gang activity, and sometimes we were out a little later than we should have been, you know? And so one night we're driving, and as we take the corner, it goes, you know, as we pass this other car. And these guys flip a U-turn, they turn off their lights, and now we're like in this thing, and we're like, what do we do?
Panicking.
And, it was
no cell phones. Can't call mom.
We didn't have cell phones. And so we're like, well, where do we go? What should we do? And trying to get to a public place that was well lit and all that kind of stuff. And so, I mean, fine, they just dropped off whatever. But so that was one of those things that, like, it was kind of funny when you're driving around normally.
Right.
But then when someone thinks like, oh, you're trying to pick a fight, not the best.
Not so fun.
Not the best.
We had we had great cars in high school. My friend Melissa Weed, who is a faithful watcher, she had this car. I don't remember the make or model, but her dad or the previous owner put an alarm on it. So if you went over 55 miles an hour, it just went the whole time. So we had to keep it right under,
Wow.
or we turned the radio up.
Back in the day when that was like the max speed everywhere.
Yeah, it was so great.
That's crazy.
Great. So if you want to go down memory lane.
So this car show that you went to, was it a classic car show? Was it kind of a little bit of everything?
No, I'd say it was classic cars. It was for a good cause. It was for the Cancer Society out at Park Collective in Prescott Valley. And so after Prescott Valley's parade, we did the car show. Outlaw Donuts was there. So, I mean, the whole vibe was really fun. We got, donuts. We talked to people and got to look at some, because I'm a tiny gearhead. I'm a little gearhead.
Okay.
I geek out a little bit over certain cars.
Okay.
The 64 and a half Mustang is like
64 and a half.
First year they made them. That was kind of like, ooh, if I could ever.
All right.
Do you have a car that's like, if I could ever?
I don't know if it's like, it's more of a type of car. It's not really a specific make or model, but yeah, I really like the rat rod style sedans. Like real, but yeah, that's kind of more my thing. If I could have just a car that was frivolous,
just for you,
just kind of like this is it. It'd be dirty. It'd be really slammed to the ground. No fenders, chopped. Oh yeah, I mean just like.
Wow.
But my father-in-law, Denver, and we're just like saying hi to everybody. Hi, Denver.
Hey, Denver watches.
So he had this amazing rat rod truck for a while.
You know, I bet he did.
And it was
because I'm learning
really
a little
cool.
bit about our friend Denver.
Super scary because like it had this suicide front end thing.
Oh man.
So when you're driving, you're like, oh, it was amazing though. Gear shift was like up here.
Yes.
So that was a blast.
Do the sound effects come with it?
Amazing. Oh yeah. When you make your own.
Yeah. The window down and the arm out.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the tunage.
120 degrees outside doesn't matter, dude. You look amazing.
Yes.
So,
yes. I love it. Oh man.
But there you go. Okay, so car show coming up this weekend.
Gateway. Help out our veterans. We love our veterans in this area.
And Denver also has a Mustang that you would probably appreciate very, very much.
Does he?
Yes.
Oh man, because he keeps like sending me little things. He had the motorcycle. He did the trip up to Durango, where I used to live. Yeah. So we have a lot of things in common. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Heritage Park Zoo.
Heritage Park Zoo.
Come on, Prescott friends, don't we love our little zoo? It's really like a wildlife refuge.
Yeah.
I mean, they use the word zoo, but
yeah, I mean, because it is.
Yeah. And it's precious. It's just the right size.
It is a good size.
We need to have them on the show. My husband keeps saying that. You got to have the zoo people on the show.
The zoo people.
Because they just do a great job.
The zoo people.
They do a great job.
Yeah.
They've got volunteers that do a great job.
It's a nice clean, like the animals look well taken care of.
If you have
it's
toddlers,
really cool.
you're coming to visit maybe some weekend this summer.
It's worth it.
You got to hit it because they can walk, and there's a tiny little splash pad and a cute little play area, and the animals are like right there.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool.
It's so cool. So
now,
anyway,
what's interesting is when I first went to Embry-Riddle, I had no idea that Heritage Park Zoo was right there.
Right across
and
from you guys.
And so you'd be walking around campus at night, and all of a sudden you hear, what the heck? What is this place?
Who needs to be fed?
That was like a lion. Is that a lion? So it was very confusing until we found out that it was actually like a real zoo
Right
with
there.
enclosures. We didn't have to worry so
and
much
it's
about.
just so sweet. They have a camp your kids can attend, and
Yes.
also breakfast with the Eagles this weekend.
Okay.
From
That sounds
9 to
dangerous.
10:30. We're not actually in with the Eagles.
Okay.
They frown on that, but
So it's not like that thing where like you hold like a raw piece of meat and just kind of hope for the best.
No.
Okay.
Liability, I think. But we did go to breakfast with the lemurs last
Yes.
year, and that was so fun.
Okay.
And I'm that person. Don't tell the zoo people, but I find videos on my phone of like other lemurs, and then I have the lemurs on my phone and they talk to each other.
What?
Yeah, it's so sweet. But I don't know if I'm allowed to do it. Nobody's told me not to yet.
Yeah, because what if they're like, what if there's like
Trauma.
a lemur
It could be-
insurrection?
I know. It could be.
They're
it could
talking
be
to each other,
traumatizing for
coordinating
them.
something across.
Maybe. But it's
state
so
lines.
cute. Anyway, so you can have breakfast with the Eagles.
Huh.
If you wanted
Okay.
to. At our sweet little Heritage Park Zoo. I love it. Harlot. Wow. I need my coffee. Let me start that one over. Charlotte
Yes.
Hall Museum.
Charlotte Hall.
Wow. Living history this weekend. It's
harlot- a
entertaining.
harlot shawl.
So it's saying its little tagline is "Party like it's 1888." That's pretty cute. So you're gonna have some games. They're gonna have fun entertainment at Charlotte Hall Museum this weekend from 10 to 3. So that's on my list for this summer to take the kids to. They're that age where I think it would be
It is.
like 11 and 12.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. Whoever does the landscaping.
No, it's
stuff,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
There's
they've
like
done
a
great
rose
job.
garden and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, and it's right downtown, so you can get
Very
your coffee, do the museum. Yeah, it's a win-win. Casino night at Elks Theater, because Elks Theater now, for all us locals, is opened back up because they were
Yay.
shut down for a while, and they're
For what?
doing. There was some sort of something going on. I don't remember. We don't. It shall not be named.
Okay. Copy that.
And so they're opening up for stuff. And this
Yay.
weekend, they're going to do a fundraiser for Prescott Western Heritage Foundation, which I
Oh.
think is, in our area, that's important.
Yeah.
I mean, we like to keep that Western heritage going.
Yeah.
So fundraiser for them. It's going to be casino night, 5:30 to 9:30, silent auction. You can go to prescott.org if you want to know more information on any of these things.
Boom.
Yeah. And then the last one is our own Northern Arizona Wranglers. Have you been to a game yet?
I have not. We really wanted to go.
We do
we
too.
thought about taking our staff.
Great
and
idea.
then there's a lot of them with a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I think we'll take our family at least.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Arizona
think your
Wranglers.
boys, and I mean, Ella
Really
would love
cool.
it too. And our own Lexi Nightcamp from Lessons by Lexi up at Gateway Mall, who's going to be on the show next week.
Yeah.
She is, I don't know if she's the lead cheerleader, but she's part of the cheerleaders for the Northern Arizona Wranglers. And they take on the Tucson Sugar Skulls.
Ooh, the Sugar Skulls. Okay.
That's quite the name, isn't it?
It is.
So anyway, I think our Wranglers can take them 6 p.m. at, Finley Toyota Center if you
Okay.
want to go.
Brilliant.
So
Love
that
it.
was, there's lots of other things going on.
Oh, sure.
But that was
All
just
the
like a
time.
little, a little wrap up
Okay.
of what's going on.
Hey, what's with your button bracelet? I just noticed that.
Oh, so sweet.
it have a,
Can you guys see
thing?
this? My sweet daughter made this for me for Mother's Day
Oh, lovely.
because mothers are like buttons. They hold everything together.
Nice.
That's sweet.
Our little buddy could have used some buttons.
Yes, little
fell
Bob over
apart.
here.
He needs a
button or
mom.
two.
He needs a mom and some buttons.
Are you gonna put buttons on him?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Can you bring him back next week and let us
yes.
see what you've
You'll
done?
get to see what it looks like
Little
when Jeremy,
trousers on him, maybe,
Jeremy
or a little
sews
kilt.
up Bob.
Yeah. All right.
He'll be our mascot from now on.
So our guest today,
Yes. Who is it?
those of you in our area, you know this. You know this magazine, Prescott Women magazine. Bree Hinkel, who I like to call a friend of mine. I'm not sure if she would say the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Because I think a lot of times I think everybody's my friend. And
Yes.
they're like,
No.
we're really more like an acquaintance, Raylene. Like, really?
No, we're
I thought we
friends.
were friends. So
Okay.
anyway, I'm very excited.
Good.
She is a boss lady, and she's had me in her magazine twice. So
Hey, yeah.
Just
there
saying.
you go. The who's
There you
who.
go.
That's
That's
really
right.
what it is. It's the who's who.
She'd have you
I have
win,
not
but
been
you're
in the
not a woman.
magazine yet, but
No.
this is Prescott Woman magazine.
It
so
is.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I'll take that as a compliment.
all right, so here we go with our
All right.
interview with Bree Hinkel. Okay. Hey, and we're back. Thank you so much for staying with us because we promised this boss lady, and here she is. Bree. I'm just going to say Bree. Bree Hinkel.
Perfect.
Brianna. I can say it. I can do it. Brianna. So, and we showed you what she does because it's pretty amazing. Really good at what you do. So, but we want to know the woman behind Prescott Women magazine.
Okay.
We want to dive into who you are. I'm sounding really journalistic.
Yes, so journalistic.
I was trying,
Very serious.
trying really hard because we were not serious in our little preview thing between the two of us. Can I just say?
No.
We'll show you what Jeremy did. He massacred something that is not ours. He's going to bring Bob back up here.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what happened.
This
He does.
poor
He
guy.
I know.
We
We found
were-
him this morning, not like this.
Right.
He was whole. And then we were making a joke. I was making a joke about like, oh, what if it's a voodoo doll?
Right.
And then all of a sudden he split apart and his innards came out. So I feel bad.
This is a bad omen.
It was for
Or a
him.
really
It was for him.
good one.
He's in the emergency room somewhere.
Yes.
So,
maybe it's just
yes.
a
That's how we started our
really
morning. So
Yeah.
bad
we're-
energy.
we're
That's
hoping
what
to
it is.
turn that now. We're going
Okay.
to turn that with
Yes.
this whole interview
And
right
we're going to
here.
try and be professional now as much as we can be.
We'll try.
Okay, it excites me that you are Prescott homegrown. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so born and raised right here in Prescott,
Oh,
Arizona.
wow.
That cool.
Born at the hospital before it became this huge hospital that we have now,
Mm-hmm.
and grew up on Oregon Avenue, which is just the street that leads up to Thumb Butte, one of the
That's
many.
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
right
pretty
on
area.
Miller Creek there, and
Wow.
spent my childhood playing with Barbies in the creek.
Oh,
That's awesome.
isn't that a great childhood?
That is.
Yes. Oh, Jeremy spent his sewing, but that's a story for another day.
No, well, not. I mean, I hope you didn't sew that piece.
No, I didn't. Apparently, I'm going to have
He's
to
going to, though.
Yes. Get busy after this.
repair him.
So just tell us a little bit, was growing up in Prescott as nostalgic as I think it would be? I mean, it was small back then. You're not that old. I'm just saying. It's grown a lot over the last 20 years.
It has definitely
So,
grown.
Did you go to like Lincoln Elementary? What did your childhood consist of?
I actually went to Miller Valley, which no longer exists.
Oh, okay.
So I was
Yes.
a Miller Valley Cobra before they changed their mascot
Cobra.
too. It was a Cobra.
And what did they change it to?
I don't remember what they changed. It was
something a little
something
nicer?
not as fierce.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a little scary.
That's a little deadly. It's kind of hard to make it cute.
And we don't
Yes.
really have
It's
cobras
not a
here,
cub.
do we? Do
No.
we have cobras?
No, not here. Not that I've seen.
No.
And then a Granite Mountain Grizzly, and then a Prescott Badger, of course.
Look
so
at you.
Of course.
yeah.
You even have Badger colors on today.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yeah, get
yes,
blue and
you
gold.
do.
All
Her
right.
shirt says "Support your local women." I love that. I already shared what mine because it's Foster Care Awareness
Oh, that's
Month.
right. Yes, I've seen the signage up all over the place.
Yes, yeah, good. I'm glad. Okay, and so Bree, what did your parents do growing up? What brought them to Prescott, or were they Prescott natives too?
No, I'm first generation. My sister and I are first generation. So they are my mom is originally from South Dakota.
Okay.
My dad was raised in Wisconsin and then kind of grew up high school times in Phoenix.
Okay.
So Prescott was something that he had visited, or a place that he had visited when he was growing up. And I believe my grandmother might have lived here at the time, or she moved shortly after they moved here.
Ah.
But they just kind of loved Prescott. I mean, who doesn't love Prescott,
Oh,
right?
yeah. No, it's so
Exactly.
easy to
And
stay.
of course, raising families is what brings a lot of people back. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's kind of what got them here, was just to raise a family. They ended up meeting in Santa Barbara in an apartment complex by the pool.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So great.
Santa Barbara, another beautiful place.
Yes.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Oh, fun. Okay, so they settled down here. You and your sister came along, and then after high school, what did you want to do? Did you want to stay in I mean, I already know your story, but our viewers and listeners don't.
I think like most Prescottonians, you don't want to stay in Prescott, especially
We've
when
heard
you're
that a lot, haven't we?
When you're in high school, you want to get out.
We've heard that a lot.
And so I had grandiose plans of going to like New York and studying art management.
Oh, wow.
And ended up in Minot, North Dakota, studying graphic design. North Dakota, such a huge metropolis of.
Yeah,
graphic
when I
design
think
hub.
of design,
Yes.
I think of Minot.
Of course.
Immediately.
Yeah, why not Minot,
Yeah,
right?
Why not Minot?
Exactly.
Reason's the reason, is what they would say.
Oh, you are not joking. I've been through Minot maybe 3-4 times, and not pleasant experiences.
No.
Not really. No. One on Amtrak. It was one of the
Oh,
stops for
yes.
Amtrak from Wisconsin.
Yes.
Out to Seattle, and the train hit like an avalanche. I mean, it just bumped up against it, and the train was out of commission, and we were outside of Minot for 2 days on Amtrak.
Gosh.
It was horrible and cold. You're right.
Yeah. And freezing.
So you went up there, but before that, in high school, art was your thing.
I never took an art class in high school.
Really?
Yeah, I was. I just didn't feel like I was good enough to take an art class. I
Okay.
loved art, but I
Yeah.
just felt like taking an art class for some reason felt intimidating. I was kind of shy in high school, so yeah, I didn't take one art class. I ended up taking a CAD, a computer-aided drafting class instead, and I loved that
Okay.
a lot. So I actually started at Yavapai College in their architectural design program,
Okay.
and then quickly decided that wasn't for me. It was just, it wasn't creative enough.
Okay.
I moved into graphic design. And so that's when I was probably 18 and found my love, my career.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
and then
awesome.
when I moved to North Dakota, I got to study at the Minot State University, I was going to say, and I worked at the Minot Daily News. I was mixing those two up. So
Wow.
Okay.
What'd you
Yeah.
do at the Daily News?
I was a graphic designer.
Is there a lot of news?
That's kind of cool.
Not much.
Everywhere
The
has news.
Amtrak
Just
broke down.
It was just a brochure. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
The daily pamphlet.
Yes.
That's
Gotcha.
funny.
And then, so how in the world did you end up in South Dakota? What was it about their program that kind of
North
drew you
Dakota.
in, or just kind of
So I was engaged young.
okay?
I
Followed
was
a boy.
18, followed a boy, who
Yes.
was, and he
yes.
was in the Air Force. So they have
Oh,
a big
okay.
Air Force base in North Dakota, in Minot.
Okay.
And so I followed him, but, did my own thing and
Yeah.
worked and went to school. And
Huh.
then that did not work out, which for so many reasons I'm so happy for.
Yes, yes. Cheers to that.
Very young. Yeah. And then I moved back to Prescott.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
After graduating?
Yeah, I actually didn't graduate from the university there. I was
Okay.
only there for 2 years.
Gotcha.
So 2 really long, cold
Cold.
years.
Cold years. Yes.
And so then I moved back here. I have finished my schooling at Yavapai.
Okay. In graphic
Yeah.
design? Or did
In
you-
graphic design.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I've been doing that for a really long time.
Wow. Okay, so graphic design, but you have a history with this magazine. I mean, now you're the owner, the boss, the big cheese. But you didn't start out that way.
No.
So did you go straight from college into this? Fill that gap for us.
Yeah, so no, when I was finishing up school here at Yavapai, I was also working at EMI Printworks in town, which is a local print shop. They've been around for a long time. And so I started there doing graphic design, pre-press. And so there I actually worked on a number of different publications because we would do the design and layout for some other publications in town. One was Maitre d' magazine, and it was owned by Anne-Marie Sosba. I don't know if you know Anne-Marie.
yes. Hi, Anne-Marie.
Yeah.
We're watching.
So shout out. She
Yes.
was the first publication I ever worked on.
Oh,
Was that?
that's neat.
Yeah. And so then the former owner of Prescott Women came in one day while I was working at the print shop and offered me a job, which was a little strange while you're working.
Yes,
and,
not supposed to do that. But when you see talent, you got to grab it.
Yeah, and so I, of course, said, oh, no, I'm completely happy here. And I was.
Yeah.
But then, of course, I really wanted to work on this magazine. So I reached out to him afterwards and
Yes.
started working there. And that was 14 years ago.
Oh my
Yeah.
word. So you said him. So the
Yes.
previous owner of Prescott Women was a man.
Was a gentleman, yes. Yeah.
Do you know the story behind that? Like, why did he start a
yeah,
women's magazine?
It actually is kind of a funny tie-in to North Dakota. His ex-wife was from North Dakota, and he had found a magazine similar to this called, I think it was called Fargo Woman or Area Woman or something like that. So it was a similar format, and he thought, oh, well, those demographics were very similar to our town.
Oh, okay.
So he
Smart.
brought that here. And so then I think he had been, so the magazine in its entirety has been around for 18 years.
Wow.
Okay.
And so he started it up, and it was just a quarterly publication to start, then changed into bi-monthly, and then I jumped in and was their designer for 10 of those years until
Wow.
4 years ago, I bought it.
4 years ago,
Awesome.
you bought it.
Just bought it. Just decided.
Yeah, no big deal.
Wanted
It
to
was
see
a
some
huge deal.
changes.
Yeah, I
It was a lot
bet.
of paperwork.
Whoa, Bree, that is awesome.
And so what was he hoping to achieve with the magazine? And then is that kind of, are you taking that and expanding on that, or do you have a different vision for the magazine yourself? Like what is Prescott Woman all about, and what do you hope to achieve through it?
Yeah, and I think what he was trying to do was hit, of course, a target demographic of women.
Yeah.
Simply enough, just that. And then when I took it over, I had noticed, I am a Prescott woman, so there were some things that we were lacking in for this publication. And so I wanted to kind of make it more of a community magazine.
Okay.
Obviously our target market is still women, but I want to celebrate so many different kinds of stories. So I started tying in the nonprofits and having a nonprofit section in every edition that is non-cost to the nonprofit, kind of tying in the woman of Prescott.
Yes.
And so I know you're featured as a woman
Page
of Prescott.
74.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Where we can kind of honor women that are doing these amazing things. But, I just wanted to open it up so that we're always continuously telling stories that are really
That's awesome.
positive about that the community has.
That's really
Yes.
So I'm kind of carrying on where he started. I just wanted to kind of take it to the next level and really just make it a full community magazine.
good. That's very good.
And you have. You really,
Thank
really
you.
have. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So I wanted to ask you, from graphic design, but now you're, a magazine, how do you dovetail that? I'm just saying, are you over people that are putting this together? Are you super hands-on? Tell me a little bit about that.
I am super hands-on. It is my baby. So so I actually still do all the layout design.
Okay.
Because it is kind of, I just love graphic design too, and I don't want to let that go. So I do all the layout design. So everything that you see in here, besides the ads, who are done by Raylyn, she does all the ad design.
Yeah.
So, but everything else I have a very hands-on approach to.
Yeah.
And of course I have a talented team of writers and a photographer that's fantastic.
Yes.
So
Shout out to Trish.
Yeah. So they kind of handle all of the content.
Okay.
And then I handle the completed piece.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then as this area continues to grow,
Yes.
Prescott Valley, Chino Valley, Mare, that whole Quad City
City,
thing
they're
that we
calling us
have
now?
kind of going now.
Yeah.
How does that kind of play a part in the future of the magazine? And is it kind of more of that community for the community, or
Yes.
does it more center around things just specifically in Prescott?
No, not just specifically Prescott, for sure. We do a Prescott Valley editorial every issue. We work with the Prescott Valley Economic Development facility, and they help us honor women in Prescott Valley. And we've honored women in Chino Valley as well, and Dewey. We work really well with the Mortimer Farm out there. So we've honored women throughout the area.
Good.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
We've even hit women in Jerome before. So yeah.
okay.
We try to
That's fun.
we try to stay with the Quad Cities, but we really, we love all of our surrounding communities.
Yeah.
Good.
We're all neighbors. So.
Yes. Yeah. And do neighbor really good, I think. Yeah.
I'm smirking slightly because we have this ongoing debate in our family, and I think it's not really a debate, but I'm not sure sometimes. So Mortimer Farms,
Yes.
but there's half of my family that says, no, it's Mortimer's Farm. And even though the sign is very specific in saying Mortimer Farms, they're like, but
Yes.
whose farm is it?
It's
no,
Mortimer's.
it's Mortimer's Farm. So that's,
Oh man.
anytime someone
Wrap your
says
head
Mortimer
around that.
Farms, I'm like, good, yeah, we're right. It's
So
Mortimer Farms.
which team are you
Oh,
on?
I'm on Read the Sign.
Read the sign.
Mortimer Farms.
It's Mortimer Farms.
I
Yes.
think Mortimer Farms.
Thank you.
Is that what I
Okay.
just said a minute ago?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
You
So
better
thank
get that
you.
right.
Yeah, right.
So that's why I'm kind of feeling a little bit. Yeah, that's right.
All right.
That's right. People know. People know the truth.
So what does your wife say? Is she on your side?
Oh, she's on Mortimer's Farm.
Mortimer's Farm.
Because she
Okay.
knows it'll spark an instant debate with the kids, and it just from the time we hit there until we are in the garage, man, they are occupied.
Well,
but
hey,
the
that's
apostrophe.
actually a smart idea.
It is.
Yeah.
Get in on that debate because it's
Yes.
such a great place.
It
It's
is.
Such a
They've
great
done
place.
an amazing job. With
Yeah.
it. So-
Is that a place? I don't know how long they've been here. So is that a place that you would have gone to growing up?
Yes,
Okay.
that farm location, but it was Young's farm.
Okay. Young's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
And
think
that
I
one
did
was
know that.
Young's farm.
Young's, see? Oh, we've added a new layer. There's some depth there. Okay, I see.
Okay, I want to pick your brain as a Prescottonian.
Yes.
Can you tell us, I know you do, you have a little Monday hiking club with some of your buddies. Mm-hmm. What are some of your favorite hikes in the area? Do you have your go-to that if you're...
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
Constellation is a lovely one.
That is a cool one.
It's just a really beautiful kind
Very
of spot.
unique.
Yeah, unique. Salida Gulch is a really cool one because you get to see the petroglyphs, which is
I don't
awesome.
know that. Okay,
yeah,
I know that one.
Yeah, and there's snakes always, so so look out for that. Yeah.
So I ride. We live really close to that particular trail, and I used to ride my bike all the time. Had no idea they're petroglyphs. And there's this one day I'm riding up there, and these folks look super confused, and they're just standing in the middle of the trail. I'm like, "Are you guys okay?"
It's all right.
Like, "Oh, we're just trying to find the petroglyphs. Do you know where they are?" I'm like,
I have no
not
idea what
here.
you're saying.
They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, like our map says this, and it's this trail." And so then I'm like, "Really?" So we start poking around, and there's some really cool petroglyphs that
and
are
you can
right there.
easily miss them
Pictures.
depending on which direction you hike too.
Yes.
So, but it's a really cool area. But it's funny that one time there was a petroglyph of a snake, and we looked down and there was actually a snake below that petroglyph. So it was just a weird. We're like, okay, it's right. It's very
It is
accurate.
right.
This
Yeah.
is where they belong.
They're telling us.
It's right here.
Yeah.
It's all, yeah, I mean, these people were from, I think, Tucson. They had driven up just to look at petroglyphs in this
wow.
area. So
Okay.
Yeah, there's
it's
a few.
definitely a destination thing.
Good for
so it's a
them.
cool thing.
Lots of fun things
So
to
those
do.
are my top two, and I love Thumb Butte too.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, those are good ones. Okay, and just tell me, in your opinion, how are you feeling about just our area being different than when you grew up? You know, we've got lots more people, we've got lots more restaurants. I mean, it's got to be good for your magazine, right?
Yeah.
So the more the merrier.
Of course, the more the merrier. I think for sure. This is a community. This is everybody's hometown, right?
Yes.
So we got to treat it as such. I think the growth in this area has always been an interesting topic,
Yes.
right? But I think that Prescott does it pretty well. And I think that there's always opportunities for new business, especially locally owned business.
Yes.
It's such an important thing. I mean, the downtown is thriving.
Oh, it's
Yes.
amazing.
And it hasn't stopped thriving for generations, you know? So it's been
great.
such a hub of Prescott, the gem, right? So
Yeah.
it's always so nice to be able to go downtown and see how thriving that is, that tourists enjoy it, that locals are down there on the square enjoying
Yep.
it and having
Yep.
picnics. And so I am a huge supporter of the downtown area and throughout the communities. And it's nice. I mean, now we have an airport that you can actually go places from.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really
The
exciting
new
to be
terminal
able.
is really nice.
Isn't it so
Oh, have you
nice?
seen it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I haven't been up to
It's
see
nice.
it yet. Have you actually flown out of Prescott?
I have to LA, and I'm
okay.
flying out next week to LA, which is going to be so awesome. And it's 5 minutes from my house,
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
free parking.
That's amazing.
You don't have to. I mean,
Yeah.
what more can you ask
Yeah.
for?
Not
It's
a lot.
so.
a latte.
really
That's
good.
it. And that would
a
be
latte
perfect.
and that's it. So it is nice to see some of the growth in Prescott, but some of the traditions continue, like the rodeo
Yes.
and the parades
Yes.
and the courthouse lighting, and that we haven't lost sight in that we are still a small town.
Yeah,
Right.
I would agree with all of those things.
It's really good.
Yeah, totally.
So now with the number of people that you highlight in your magazine, just that you're trying to kind of put out there, how would someone go about getting involved, or if they know someone that has a really unique story,
Yeah.
how best can they reach out to you, or do you kind of have a team of people that already are kind of have their fingers out there in the community?
Yeah, it kind of works both ways.
Okay.
So, but most of our content comes from people saying, "Hey, you need to highlight this woman."
Yeah, I know I've done that a couple times with you. I've pushed
Okay.
people her way.
Yeah. So if people just go to PrescottWomanMagazine.com, and then under the contact us, you can submit an article suggestion. And what we do is, with an editorial team, is we have, every issue is themed. So we will save every single submission that comes in. And if we find that it's going to work really well with our theme for that edition, like this
Okay.
one is home and family, then there's a high chance that it's going to be used. Because we try to highlight every woman that we can, depending on the story and the circumstances. But yeah, that's the best way to get featured. And it can take 2 years. I mean, we only do 6 issues,
Yeah.
So I was going to say, is your list long?
It can get really long, and it kind of depends on on the theme and who we're already highlighting for that edition, because we try not to overlap too much.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So yes, community suggestions are always the best way.
Oh, that's great.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Love it.
and then I'm always like searching and learning and listening and finding.
Yes.
Yeah, and my team does the same.
Is it hard for you just to go into Sprouts? I mean, do you just see people that you know all the time?
Yes. Yeah.
I would think so.
During the pandemic, I thought, I'm going to be so incognito in my sweats and my mask. No, that didn't work.
It's those baby blues.
It's the eyes and the hair.
Yep. We know you.
Yeah.
That's good. So then you said you were fairly shy in high school.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of those benchmarks along the way? Because doing what you do, you can't be shy anymore, and you have to be out there in the community.
And I would
so what
never
were some
have
of
called
those?
you shy.
Yeah. So what were some of those things that kind of broke you out of that shell and brought you to where you are today?
Yeah. So I did do a little bit of theater in high school.
Okay.
That helps.
No
We're
major
theater people, too.
Yeah, awesome. No major roles because I was shy.
Okay.
But I enjoyed the friendship. I enjoyed getting up on the stage. I enjoyed that kind of camaraderie between
such
people,
a great
right?
group.
That's just so fun.
Yeah.
So that helped. And I think also moving to North Dakota at a young age and then starting my career and having a professional job, it was kind of that fake it till you make it was always my motto.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you had to pretend. I pretend all the time still. Like, okay,
How's
I'm
going?
good. Yes, we're doing this. Yeah.
Right.
I'm pretending right now.
And I love this.
I do love this. I love you guys. So.
That's good.
Cheers to that.
You make it easy.
That's awesome. That's really good. No, and especially with trying to establish yourself in somewhere new and not being in a spot where you can be, just shy and reserved. That's probably a big part of that.
If you're an introvert, that's really hard. That kind of change, leaving your hometown to somewhere new, and especially a small town like you went to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can't get lost in the crowd there.
No, not at all.
No. And I think also when I bought the magazine, because I was behind the scenes for so long for the magazine, for those 10 first years, I didn't have to go network or do any of that. But when you own a business, you have to be out there. You have to be the face of it. And so that was a big shift to me of like, okay, you have to step up your game.
Yeah. I know that you are a very big supporter of certain nonprofits. Tell us, just share a couple of nonprofits that your heart is just behind.
Okay. Yeah. So with every subscription, 10% of the proceeds goes to Stepping Stones, and I love Stepping Stones.
Me too. I was just there on Friday.
Right? It's such an amazing thrift, amazing agency.
Yes.
They do such great work with women and children and families, and so huge supporter of that. Yavapai Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yes.
I was big for quite a few years. My
awesome.
little is now in Pennsylvania.
Not so little.
Yeah, she's 16.
Oh, wow.
So I love that organization. And I'm also I believe we're both a part of Prescott Area Women Who Care.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is phenomenal. I've never heard of anything like it.
And that's such an interesting organization because you support nonprofits collectively
Just
quarterly.
in this area.
They have a Men Who Care too. So
Oh, okay.
So they try to get 100 women together quarterly, and each woman dedicates $100 to whatever the chosen nonprofit is.
Right.
So that nonprofit walks away with quite a bit of money
10
every
grand.
quarter.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's such an exciting kind of organization to be a part of.
It is.
That's really neat.
Yeah. So those are just a few.
Yeah, those are great. Yeah. I just knew that was, a heart thing of yours that you're really behind. And then just another reason to love what you do and support what you do, because then in turn we're supporting other nonprofits, which I just think is great. Yeah.
That's very cool.
So just tell us just a tiny bit. You've just met the love of your life.
Yes.
And I love a good love story.
Okay.
You know I do. So you were sharing
It's
just
getting
a little,
together.
Well, that's right. We're getting together. We've been
all right.
coffee.
It's getting together.
We're getting together.
They're getting together.
Yes. Okay, so his name again, please.
Is Daniel.
Daniel. And you said Daniel came out here last May
Yes.
from Kentucky.
Yes.
Okay. Which, have you ever been to Kentucky?
Yes, briefly.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville, beautiful. Hazard, been to Hazard. Don't need to go again. Okay, so then tell us he arrived and you guys met when?
So we met September 4th.
September 4th. She remembers the exact day.
Yeah, we had our first date at the Wren, the Prairie Patio, and what you think would turn into maybe just a beer. You never know. Turned into like a 6-hour date with dinner and talking, and which has now turned into an engagement.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So excited for you.
Thank you.
So great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, that's fun.
exciting stuff. Yeah.
I can't imagine
Whirlwind.
how huge your wedding is going to have to be.
Oh, it's not.
Okay.
We're going small.
Okay.
On
'Cause
purpose.
I mean, there'd be the whole town.
Yeah.
So
So we're
can't do
going
that.
very small
Okay.
Good.
because
Yes.
that sounds overwhelming.
And have you decided on the venue yet where you guys can be?
Yeah. So we're going small, and we're going to Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Getting out of
we have a
getting out of
really
the area.
cool chapel picked out. It's a really
Fun.
unique space,
Okay.
and it's going to be a fun
That's
group
great.
of people.
Yeah.
So it's a vacation for all that are involved.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be
and
fun.
4 hours away. You can't beat that. That's awesome.
So that's how we're keeping it small.
Yeah, we're excited for you.
Excellent.
That's so
Smart.
great. All right. Well, at the end of every getting together episode, we ask our guest if there was someone you could get together with, who would that be?
Yeah. Well, that is a good question. But I would say my dad. He passed away in 1998.
Yes.
So, and he was the person that got me involved in design. So
Okay.
he got me my first computer.
Aw.
It was a hand-me-down from him, of course, but it was a
Yeah.
Commodore
That's okay.
64.
Hey.
And that's when I started actually doing layout design at a minimal, with
Yeah.
whatever it was,
I
print
don't even know
or
what that would look
publisher
like.
or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Did they even
back
have a
then.
mouse back then? I mean, I don't remember.
I think they did. I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
I do feel like there was a mouse.
Okay.
But so he was the first one. He had the very first version of Photoshop. He was a photographer, so he would be
He
the
was
Okay.
your
person.
artsy person, huh?
Yeah. And so it would be really nice because he passed away before I got into the graphic design career to have a conversation over a beer and talk about
Hey, Dad.
All the
look at
things.
how
Yeah.
much technology has changed,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he would have just been mind blown.
Oh, and
So-
how he influenced you.
Yeah. So
That's
that would be
precious.
who I'd want to connect with, get
I
together
love
with.
that.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah.
cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
But
Thanks, Bree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us for this episode of Getting Together. It's been a really cool experience just to meet you and
Me
learn a little bit
too.
more about
Yeah,
what you
she's
do.
cool.
And thank you so much for all the things that you do for the area, and not only to put Prescott Women on the map and Prescott Women and build their stories, but also just for what you're doing for the community. So it's a really cool thing. So thank you for doing that. And if you had, just like Bree was talking about, and we'd love to hear your stories.
Yes.
And we'll put the links down below for how to get in touch with her. But then also for us, we'd love to hear what makes Prescott so special to you, why you came to the area, and we'd love to get together with you. So until then, like and subscribe.
Make
sure that you
Share.
do those things and share the snot out of it so that more and more people can just hear about the cool things that are happening here in Prescott. We'll
Come
see
back
you
next week to
on the-
see how Jeremy sews up Bob.
Oh yes, gotta find out what I do for poor Bob there.
Very important.
But, very important. Everyone's just dying to know. But all right, so we'll see you on the next one.
Bye
Bye-bye.
for now.